Hello, my loyal subscribers. Got another review for you here of a movie I just rewatched recently that I really enjoy, directed by one of my most favorite directors. And if I haven't said it already, my favorite directors are Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, however you say his name, Tomato, and Quentin Tarantino. Those are my top three most favorite directors, and they've made many movies I love that I will be getting to reviewing here on my channel soon. For this movie, I'm going to be reviewing a movie that I really love and I consider a landmark film, for sure one of the best movies of the 2010s. That movie being The Wolf of Wall Street. So anyway, this movie is a biopic slash comedy drama. Fits a whole bunch of different genres, and it's about Jordan Belfort, a young Wall Street broker who did his Wall Street broking in the late 1980s and throughout the 90s. Except the thing is he's not. He obtains his money illegally. He's a lot like Gordon Gekko, and there's many points in the movie where he even quotes Gordon Gekko. So yeah, and Jordan Belfort in this movie is played by another one of my favorite actors, Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, Leo DiCaprio is definitely one of my most favorite actors, and he kills it in this role. He really embodies Jordan Belfort. When you watch this movie, you really see him. Like, he even narrates the film, and every time I watch the film, it just makes me feel like I'm his protege or his successor. Like, he's just like, the way he talks, the way he has his ambition and desire, because even though this stuff is illegal, he still believes in it. Plus, the guy's a total dick, too. Gosh, the way he talks to some of his coworkers or just people that are poor compared to him. Like, I remember one piece of dialogue he had was, "You know what? I know what you're talking about. I've been a poor man and I've been a rich man. And you know what? I choose rich every fucking time." Oh yeah, he said any fucking time, but yeah, this movie's also very quotable. That's why I say it's like Pulp Fiction. And like Pulp Fiction, this movie, there's not a single dull moment in it. It's just like, there's really no dull moments in it. It just keeps going and going. There's so many memorable lines of dialogue, but anyway, I also got to mention the supporting characters in this film. One who really surprised me is Jonah Hill. I've always loved him, thought of him as a comedian. Sure, this movie is a comedy, but it is a drama at the same time. He really killed it as Donnie Azoff, his partner. And then along the way too, there's a lot of other supporting characters too who help him along the way and just are there to help him out. Like, there's a Swiss bank account manager, a Swiss banker, which is where Belfort stores his money, because this movie is his rise from the top to the top of Wall Street, as he is a Wall Street broker, even though Belfort uses a whole bunch of illegal methods and stuff to obtain this money. Like, one of my favorite lines of dialogue relating to this is when he tries to explain an IPO, a form of stock, and he's all like, "You know what, you probably don't understand what this means." And then as he's walking around, looking directly at the camera, basically Deadpooling it, he's all like, "You're probably wondering, is any of this legal?" Absolutely fucking not. Yeah, I just love that too. Plus, this movie, gosh, it has over 560 uses of the word fuck. Like, I can't believe it. This movie set the record for most uses of that word in one movie. So yeah, anyway, another few important characters too. I'm just going to mention both of them and show them both to you. There's also his lawyer. There's Manny Riskin, played by Jon Favreau. And then there's also his dad. He's Max Belfort, otherwise known as Mad Max Belfort. And it's so funny. There's one scene where he's trying to watch this one TV show, and he gets a phone call. He's all like, "Who the fuck calls me in the middle of the night on Tuesday night?" It's just so funny. He just loses his shit, and then he picks up the phone, and he's all like, "Yeah, hey, how are you? How you doing?" Oh yeah. So anyway, Jon Favreau, Rob Reiner. And also, along the way too, he has a whole bunch of people helping him out. Like, John Bernthal plays, I believe, his manager, kind of like his bodyguard. Also, he's there for him, helps him out. Then after John Bernthal, he has his whole crew of help at this one firm that he creates called Stratton Oakmont with a lion as its mascot, and these are basically all of the characters. These are basically all of his friends. And then one last character who also plays a role in this film because she's the one that relates to all of his shenanigans and antics since he is a Wall Street broker. And needless to say, Jordan Belfort definitely loves to drink and do drugs in this movie because this movie, oh my gosh, it is graphic. Like, Martin Scorsese directed Hugo before this film, which is more family oriented. And oh my gosh, for all those who were wanting him to go back to his original roots, oh, he went back to his roots and frickin' tripled it. But yeah, anyway, before I go into those scenes, yeah, Margot Robbie, oh gosh, my love, Margot Robbie. This is basically the movie that introduced her and helped make her name known across Hollywood, and for sure her name is stuck now as she's been in many big movies like Focus, Legend of Tarzan, Suicide Squad, and now, look at her now. Every director wants her. Anyway, she plays his second wife in the film, his first wife, Teresa, except she's not in the film very much. She's really only in the film for like maybe the first 45 minutes. His second wife, Naomi, she for sure, played by Margot, she got more screen time. Yeah, and there's just so many good, memorable scenes where Margot Robbie held her own against Leo DiCaprio in this movie. I was blown away. A young actress like her, like, oh my gosh, she just like completely, she held her own against Leo DiCaprio, and that's saying something because that is something easier said than done sometimes. But yeah, anyway, it's just really just a freaking yeah, she was really great, and there's also a lot of memorable scenes too. Like there's a scene where Belfort goes from this one meeting in his helicopter and goes back because he owns a mansion that, gosh, I sure would love to own at some point in my life. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but gosh, it's so awesome. He has security, caterers. It's just real nice looking overall, and has a tennis court and swimming pool and everything. And I like it when he comes home one morning, wakes up his daughter, and there's just this real great scene of dialogue where frickin' Naomi's just frickin' chewing his ass out, and it's so funny. And she throws water on him, and she's all like, "Wake the fuck up, Jordan." And she's all like, "Who's Venice?" And at least the one great line of dialogue I like where Belfast just keeps saying, "Who? Who? Who?" And she's all like, "Oh, are you a fucking owl, Jordan?" Thought that was real funny. Pretty much that whole scene was funny. And yeah, here's a short picture of it. Yeah, it was so funny too. And then she like complains about how he ruined their grass, and he's all like, "Oh, honey, it's a Greek tragedy. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh." And then that leads to one of many standout scenes in the film. Frickin' another scene too that I remember is just one that shows to go how graphic this movie is. I mean, shoot, second scene of this movie is frickin' frickin' Jordan Belfort like snorting cocaine. Like, I think he's snorting it into a chick's butt, and it's like, whoa, that's the type of movie this is. And then there's also the Quaalude scene, which I'll go into a little later. But yeah, this scene, oh my gosh, it's one where his wife's all talking and saying where Naomi is all like, "Oh yeah," he's all trying to talk all calm to his daughter and hold her and stuff. And he's all trying to say, "Daddy's really sad and he won't do what he did again." And then Naomi's all like, "Yeah, well, Mommy says Daddy isn't going to touch her for a very, very long time. And I'm getting tired of wearing panties. So I'm just going to wear really, really short skirts." And oh, it's so funny. She's just messing with them, like, with her legs. She's just all like moving her leg backwards and forwards, and then he's all trying to get all close, and she just like pushes him away with her leg. And oh, I was laughing my ass off. I laugh my ass off every time I see that scene. That is one scene that just, no matter what, you're gonna laugh at it no matter what. And it's so funny too when he sets up a secret camera in his daughter's teddy bear, and he's all like laying down like, "Look at that teddy bear's eye looks a little bit weird." And he's all like, oh yeah, the security guards, they just saw their little present. And then freaking Naomi's all like, you ass, Jordan. Oh gosh, yeah. But as funny as this movie can get, it gets pretty fucking serious in many scenes too. Like, it really just, the movie knows when to be serious, when to be comedic, and that's what I like about it. It balances both. Anyway, there's a lot of memorable scenes in this movie, so I'm just going to go in the few standouts, because if I were to say them all, this video would last a really long time. So, yeah, anyway, another scene too I remember is the scene where frickin' Jordan meets Naomi. And it's so funny because this was his second wife. His first wife was Teresa, and frickin' it's so funny. He meets her, and he's just like immediately like looking at her like, I gotta have her. And his wife was like right across him at this one party, and he asked for her number and drives her home after the party. And oh gosh, it was just like, and then he stops in for tea. She says while he's sitting in the tea, he's like, come on, Jordan. Fucking think of a reason to go up into her apartment right now. And then she just says, Naomi says, you want to come up for some tea? And then he's all like, yeah, sure. It is so funny. At one scene in the movie, he's all like, come on, you gotta go home. You have a wife. You can't do anything else. And then he sees her like she's wearing little to no clothes in this next scene. And Naomi, and he's all like, forget it. And he just bangs her, and it's like, oh gosh. It's like, oh yeah, that was pretty funny. Messed up though at the same time, which then leads to another scene too, where he's like fooling around with her in his car, and then his wife catches him right in the act, and that leads to their marriage ending. Yeah, that was definitely not funny. But yeah, anyway, that's what I like about the movie. It balances the comedy and the humor. So anyway, the next scene in this movie is one where oh yeah, the bachelor party scene. It's so funny. Right before he marries Naomi, it's so funny. He frickin' he freaking is all like going crazy, and they're all banging all these prostitutes right before he marries Naomi. And oh gosh, it's just it's funny as shit. Yeah, and then right before this too, there's also in the meantime of all this going along, there's also one other character I forgot to mention. He's an FBI agent played by Kyle Chandler. Forgot his name. It's Agent something, but anyway, he's played by Kyle Chandler. He's the FBI agent that goes after him and investigates him because he's committed a whole bunch of crimes, and he's on every FBI most wanted list and a whole bunch of others. And yeah, anyway, there's after all this happens, frickin' another thing too I like is during the wedding scene in the movie, not only did Margot Robbie look awesome in her wedding dress, oh my gosh, Leo DiCaprio does this really interesting little dance where he's all like this. He does kind of like what Enchantress did in Suicide Squad when she would move all like that, except Leo's like doing his own thing, and really like that part. And frickin' yeah, and yeah, I really enjoyed that scene. And anyway, as all the antics keep going around and Jordan just keeps ripping off all these brokers, there comes a point in the movie where where his dad tells him he should quit, and it's almost his last day of work, and and he's all just like, he's all saying he's about ready to do it. He's all like, yeah, well, he's like, I'm not fucking leaving. You're gonna have to freaking get a freaking crane to pull me out of here, because I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying right here. And that's pretty much where he dug his grave, continuing all the shit he was doing. But yeah, it's just like, yeah. And then there's also this real interesting scene that reminded me a lot of like Deadpool. Well, Deadpool came after, but it was very meta-like, where frickin' Jordan's talking to the Swiss banker I mentioned earlier, and he's all saying, you Swedish piece of shit, just set up my account and let's do this. And he's all like, yeah, you American asshole, it's not that easy. We got a lot of stuff we gotta sort out. And oh gosh, that was another real intriguing scene that I really liked. And the other thing too I liked was Naomi's aunt in this movie. Frickin' Jordan like uses her name for the account so that that no authorities can chase after him. And yeah, anyway, as the film progresses, then frickin' Donnie and Jordan and their wives, Naomi, they're all on a cruise, and Aunt Emma dies of a heart attack. And gosh, it shows how much of a dick Belfort is. Oh gosh. Now, real life Jordan Belfort, please don't sue me or anything. Pretty sure you're a nice guy, but oh my gosh, at the time of when this film took place, you were a dick. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You were a dick. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you're a cool, nice guy now. Yeah, but anyway, frickin' just, she passes away, and you see just Naomi just torn apart, and frickin' he's all just caring about, oh no, the money. He's like worried about losing the account and stuff, and he decides to go to Switzerland first, then go to London for the funeral, and it's like, oh, seriously. And one scene I forgot to mention before this is one where the FBI agent and Belfort are on his yacht. Anyway, this is a scene where he interviews him, and he's all asking him questions, and Belfort's all talking about how he thinks FBI agents should be paid more because they get screwed financially, and he's all trying to mention that one time he tried to be a broker and all that, and it's so funny. Belfort has a couple of hot babes on both his arms, and he's all like trying to use them to seduce the agent so that they leave or whatever, and frickin' it's so funny. He picks on them being poor, and he's trying to all be a nice guy and all, and he's all trying to bribe him, saying, now, go back to the beginning of what you said, the FBI agent. He's all like, okay, yeah, well, it sounded a lot like you were trying to bribe a federal officer, and that is a serious offense right there. And he's all like, hold on. Under the United States Criminal Code, it is only bribing if an exact dollar amount is given. And so funny, right after all this, I think he pisses Belfort off, and Belfort gets all mad, saying, he's all like, get the fuck off my yacht. And then he grabs a freaking lobster and says, you like fucking lobster? Yeah, well, you probably can't afford this shit. And so funny too, he grabs money out of his pocket. He's all like, ooh, look at this. Look what I just found in my pocket. Ooh, you know what I call these? Fun coupons. He's all like, yeah, look at these. Fun coupons. Tries to call it a year's salary too. It's such a great scene. Which then leads to the yacht scene I was just at, and it's so funny. Frickin' Belfort, it almost looks as if they're gonna die because they get caught in a major storm, and he's all like tapping on Tony saying, get the stuff, and frickin' just, he's all like, if I'm gonna die, I'm not gonna die sober, and frickin', such a great scene. Now, before I get into what happens the rest here, I forgot to mention one of the funniest scenes, and they're the Quaalude scenes. Anyway, in it, frickin' Donnie takes him, and he's all like, blah, blah. He's acting all crazy in this one scene where he takes him, and oh, it's so funny. This is where Jordan meets Naomi for the first time too, and he's so attracted to her, and he's just acting all strange and stuff, and it's so funny. His wife catches him, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing, Donnie? Oh gosh, that scene was great. But anyway, the scene that I remember is when he took the frickin' Quaaludes, and these were ones that were really aged, and oh no, it wasn't Quaaludes, it was a different drug. I forgot what it was. Gosh dang it. I'd have to watch the movie again. But it knocks him the fuck out, and it's so funny. Like, he takes it, and frickin' him and Donnie are like trying to accelerate him by working out and stuff, and then Jordan's talking on the phone, and then next thing he knows, bam, he's out like a light. He just can't stay on his own 2 feet, and frickin' he's all trying to crawl to get to his car, get in his car, and it's so funny. He's so high, he thought that he got home completely unscathed and the car wasn't hurt. He's all like, I got home. I wasn't hurt, neither was the car. And then we see, in reality, he fucking fucked the car up really bad, and it was a miracle he wasn't killed, and he barely escaped getting arrested, too. But, yeah, frickin' just, oh gosh, that was another great scene. Anyway, back to the yacht scene that I was at before. Frickin', it's so funny. After they get rescued, the sailors in Italy, because they're rescued by Italy, they're all dancing and stuff, dancing to Gloria, and frickin' Naomi's all getting this one sailor's all dancing with her and stuff. And I know one thing for a fact. If I was Belfort, I would have been like, hey, you ain't dancing with her. She's mine. I'm dancing with her. But then again, one side thing I gotta mention. Seriously, Belfort, you're married to Margot fucking Robbie. Why did you cheat on her? Like, he cheats on her at least 2-3 times in this movie. And it's like, seriously. You get Margot Robbie, who I love to death, and if you ever watch this, Margot Robbie, you're awesome. You're amazing. I love you. And it's like, seriously, like, I don't get that mindset. It must have just been that Wall Street mindset shit. But, yeah. Anyway, it's so funny. He sees this plane, and he's all like, seeing these seagulls going, because that was the plane sent in to rescue him. He's like, that was a sign from God that I gotta sober up and quit doing what I'm doing. Funny thing is he actually does it, and then next thing he knows, the FBI is still going after him because he gets sold out by the Swiss bank accountant, who I guess was helped in selling him out by another guy who owned a famous Asian cuisine restaurant, and he sold him out and fucked him over. And then there's also another guy too, I forgot to mention, Steve Madden, which is where Stratton Oakmont took a lot of their stocks from. He's in the movie too, and he screwed him over too because he thought that he owned the majority of the stocks, but he put them in his name. He used it to manipulate him when the FBI was investigating him. Yeah, it's a pretty, you gotta understand it to truly get it, but yeah. Anyway. But all this stuff leads to some real interesting other speeches too that were pretty cool. Like there is this one where I believe it's in The Office. Oh yeah, it's when there's a subpoena from the FBI, and Donnie's like, you know what I think of a subpoena? Throws it in the gutter and starts urinating on it, and oh shit, it was so funny. And then it was also funny too when he's all like, I don't know if it was in this scene, it may have been in another one, but I believe it was that Steve Madden or whatever. Almost everyone in the frickin' office is yelling, fuck you, fuck you. That was another real great scene in the movie too. And this is leading up to the third act of the film, which I love this movie as a whole, but I gotta say I love the first 2/3 of the movie definitely a lot more, because this is definitely the downfall part of the film. And here's the reason why I consider it this. There is still some pretty dang funny comedy, though. There's one scene where Belfort's trying to film an infomercial. He's all trying to say he's going to help people out earn money with all their stocks and stuff. And there's also one shot, too, where he has Naomi right in his arm. And anyway, it's so funny. The FBI shows up and he's like, wait, what the fuck is this? And he's all like, I'm filming an infomercial and I haven't committed a crime in at least 3 years. He's all like, yeah, well, you're still under arrest. And they're all trying to chase him. And it's so funny. They catch him, and it's right while they're saying, they're like, turn the camera off, turn it off. And that same FBI is like, hey, Jordan, I got some legal advice for you. Shut the fuck up. Oh, gosh, that was just funny. But yeah, the third act of this film is when the company goes downhill and Belfort's basically forced by the FBI to try to get more information on him. And there's one scene where he wears a wire because he has to do it to get information on him, but he totally doesn't follow through on it. He holds up a note saying, I'm wearing a wire, don't incriminate yourself. And this is where Belfort pretty much loses everything. He loses Naomi because she gets fed up with his lifestyle and the fact that he's being investigated by the FBI, and because I think for the fact that I think she uncovers the true nature of his business that leads to their eventual divorce. But it leads to a real dramatic scene, which I'm not going to go into extensive detail on because it's definitely not a scene in the movie that I really like. But anyway, Naomi, she bangs Belfort one last time, and she's all doing it and saying, oh good, I want you to bang the shit out of me. And then she's all like, oh good, this is your last time. And then Belfort's like, wait, what? He's all like, this is the last time. I want a divorce, Jordan. I don't love you anymore. And she's all saying, I want to have full custody of the kids. You behave right now. I'll allow a supervised visit. And Belfort being Belfort, he doesn't listen to shit in this movie. He just goes on a frickin' tangent. He just goes irate and just loses his mind pretty much. And yeah, this just leads to a bunch of crazy stuff. And throughout this all, he like basically does a Scarface, grabs some cocaine he had in his mattress sheet, and leads to one of many shining moments of Margot Robbie in this movie. She's definitely on the movie a whole lot, but when she's in it, she's great. And she's all like, you know, you want to see the kids again? I don't want my kids being near you. Just look at you. And yeah, he just gets all pissed at her and stuff. He's saying, don't you freaking touch me. And he just starts calling her mean names, and he hits her a few times as she slaps him. And oh, it got brutal. The freaking hits, they feel real. And oh yeah, it's definitely the part of the film where I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, this is where it gets super dramatic. Kind of reminds me of the ending to American Hustle. And these two movies came out the same year. Wonder if David O. Russell and Martin Scorsese just like decided to have similar endings. And yeah, anyway, just got pretty dang brutal, and it then leads to the scene where Belfort tries to leave with his daughter and stuff, but he like crashes his car, and Naomi takes his kid, and he basically loses everything, and she just divorces him, and yeah, that's the end of their marriage. And then he goes to jail because he didn't cooperate with the investigation. Except he got a reduced sentence because I guess he eventually cooperates with the FBI to help them catch other stockbrokers that were doing stuff like what he was doing. Except he gets a very reduced sentence. And yeah, the movie ends with him having to go to a seminar and sell pens and stuff. And he's all saying, sell me this pen and just show what's the lowest low you go. But yeah, I love this movie. Martin Scorsese's style is real great in this movie. He makes the characters feel real, like real people you could meet. The camera work's just great. Love the way he films the scenes, like the way you see the characters, and just how he doesn't hold back. He is so unapologetic with this movie. He's like Quentin Tarantino in his movies. He just like puts stuff on screen, doesn't apologize. He's like, take it or leave it. That's it. And yeah, he just freaking just, oh yeah, it's just awesome. And there's a great cast, great script, great memorable, quotable dialogue. This movie really is Pulp Fiction for the 2010s. It's great. The cast is amazing. And this movie brought us Margot Robbie. And I gotta say, that's definitely one great thing. Thank you, Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Paramount Pictures for that. If I pissed you off before, Paramount, hope you like the praise I'm giving you now. Yeah, you definitely gave us Margot Robbie, and I gotta thank you for that. And just the dialogue, the humor, everything. And it has an effect on you too. It's just like, you just want to go out and do shit, like after you see it. Like, it really motivates you, just his ambition and drive. And DiCaprio having the voiceover, you feel like his protege or his successor. You're like, yeah, I want to do this. You're like on the reins of the freaking dragon. And it's just really, truly great film. Definitely a landmark film. I gotta say, The Wolf of Wall Street, it's a movie I can rewatch and enjoy at any time. This movie is definitely, I think it's a timeless classic. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. It's timeless. This movie's gonna be timeless. It's gonna be loved for many years to come. And it's definitely one of Martin Scorsese's best films. And so many memorable scenes, great cast, everything. So anyway, my final thoughts and my rating for this movie are 5 Durans out of 5 Durans. Love this movie. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like it if you like this video, comment, and subscribe for some more awesome content. Peace.